at UW Oshkosh.
And later, we get a preview of the upcoming student-produced show, Plot Twist.
All this and more only on Titan TV News.
From the Titan TV studios on the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh campus, this is Titan TV News. Bringing you the stories that matter to you. From the campus, the community, and beyond. Student-made, student-produced. This is Titan TV News, live at 4.
Welcome to Titan TV News. I'm Bailey Laird.
And I'm Marissa Hart.
October is the month of all things scary, so in celebration, the Oshkosh Public Museum is showcasing something quite macabre. Reporter Cody Barnes has the story.
The Oshkosh Public Museum is hosting an exhibit called Cemetery Tales, and curator of exhibitions Deborah Daubert tells us what's in store.
It's a little bit of everything. It's about mourning customs that the Victorians had that we don't understand, and so we go into that. It's about funeral customs that past and some current and how they transitioned. It does include a cemetery with life and death tales in it that you can explore. We have things on the local casket company Buckstaff. We have things on the stones in the cemetery you can find out about. And we also discuss the afterlife, from spiritualism to ghost hunting.
Deborah then told us about embalming practices and the equipment they had on display at the museum.
They would come to the home and do it right at the home at first. So we have an early table and...
We care about you. We want you to be safe. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you're going to be okay. This is a tragedy. This is something that no school district, no city, no community wants to face. But together we're going to come through. We're going to make everybody whole.
Our students' safety is our number one priority. We are committed to providing a school environment where students can feel safe in mind and body. Today's tragic event shows that trained school resource officers can help save lives.
Counseling services are available for students, staff, and families. Parents should check their district portal accounts and the school district Facebook page for more details.
Authorities have charged Steele M. Lee, 39, with possession of impoverished explosives last week. The explosive devices were cardboard tubes filled with powder and a wick for ignition. On November 5th, Lee checked himself into Ascension Mercy Hospital for an infection. When police arrived on the scene, Lee told them that he had forgot the devices on him. He told them that there was another device in his lunchbox, which Lee referred to as a firecracker. The Brown Outagamie County Bomb Squad arrived on the scene to remove the devices. No one at the scene was injured. Documents also show that Lee told police he believed the government was out to get him and needed the devices for protection. Judge John A. Jorgensen ordered a psychiatric exam for Lee to determine whether he is competent to stand trial. The exam will take place January 6th.
The Oshkosh Common Council unanimously approved the changes for the former Smith Elementary School and St. Francis Community School this Tuesday. The Oshkosh Area School District closed Smith at the end of the 2018-19 school year over infrastructure concerns. The school board voted to sell Smith to local developers Tim Hentz and Dumke, Carl Schultz, and Seth Wisenberg, who plan to turn the building into apartments. Dumke and Schultz also bought the former St. Francis Cabrini School, which previously served as one of two Catholic elementary schools in the current Lourdes academic school system. They plan to turn the school into an apartment for seniors.
Get ready for some holiday fun as Acts of Peace players will present the Brad Dockin adaptation of A Christmas Carol. Performances will take place at the Peace Lutheran Church in Oshkosh on December 5th and 6th at 7 p.m. and December 7th at 2 p.m. At 2 and 7 p.m. The plays is Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol with a twist. Brad Dockin, the playwright, wrote about 15 pages to set up the show and followed the basic outline of A Christmas Carol. Dockin said, quote, "The premise of the story is a local community theater group finds themselves in a bind when the professional touring company is snowed in and they have a full house expecting to see A Christmas Carol," end quote. 6 actors will portray multiple characters except Scrooge in a humorous yet serious performance. Be sure to check out the performance this December 5th through 7th at the Peace Lutheran Church.
Five Below is back in business. The retailer at 520 South Kohler Street closed in March after the store's roof collapsed due to heavy snow. The store reported Monday after the crews finished rebuilding following the roof collapse. The collapse caused several businesses around the store to close, including Ulta Beauty. Unlike Five Below, Ulta Beauty will remain closed until further notice.
This past week, reporter Andrew Hansen got an interview with Diane Sheeby of the Neurodiversity Alliance to see what their club was all about.
This past week, I sat down with Diana Sheeb of Neurodiversity Alliance to see what the club is all about.
So the Neurodiversity Club is a club that brings in minds of all kinds, is what we like to say. So we are a group that is inclusive to different thinking, and we just love to open it up to anyone who wants to come.
The Neurodiversity Alliance is all about inclusion.
We like to bring in people who have the different disabilities, so we partner with Project Success, and a lot of our students in Project Success are dyslexic, but neurodiversity goes further than dyslexia. It goes to autism, Asperger's, Down syndrome.
When asked about future club partnerships, Diane had this to say.
We were Project Success Squad in the past, and now we are Alliance for Neurodiversity, and so we're kind of reestablishing ourselves as a club, and we haven't partnered with anybody yet, but we are looking to do that in the coming semester, this spring, and we're really excited to do so.
The Alliance for Neurodiversity has sponsored quite a few campus events.
At our meetings, we talk about upcoming events that we're going to do mainly, and then we want to bring in speakers for next semester to just kind of learn more about neurodiversity. I think it's a very interesting topic that not a lot of people know about, so just getting the word out there, getting the word out into the community, I think it'll be very beneficial for everyone to know about this.
I'm Andrew Hansen with Titan TV News.
When we come back, we take a look at the events surrounding the recent shooting in Waukesha.
Then, World News with Andrew Merton. Stay tuned.
Are you scared of spiders?
Yeah, I am.
Ooh, the spider's on your back! Got you.
That wasn't very nice.
Just because he's scared of spiders doesn't mean you should use that to spook him.
That's right.
You were just being a bully. Bullies aren't any fun.
Well, spiders are no friends of mine. They're way too scary.
Have you actually taken the time to learn about these creatures?
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack, a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent. Get back on your plan, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
You want to come play?
Yeah, why not?
Hi, I'm Lexi, and I'm passionate about doing chemistry in a lab setting.
I'm Brandon Fuller, and I'm passionate about sports broadcasting.
Hi, my name is Caitlin, and I'm passionate about helping people.
Whatever your passion is, it starts here, UWO, where you come first.
As reported by NBC News, Madison police are asking for information after a stray bullet was found inches from a sleeping toddler. The bullet was found by investigators buried in her baby shark plush toy. Investigators found over 40 shell casings after a firefight that took place 7 miles from the UW-Madison campus last Friday. Madison Mayor Sate Rhodes Conway urges anyone with information about the shots fired to contact police, saying, quote, "If anyone knows anything about this, it's time to speak up," end quote.
An officer shot an armed male student Monday morning in a classroom at another Wisconsin high school after the suspect pointed a gun at officers. A Waukesha South High School student informed a school resource officer that the classmate had a handgun around 10:17 a.m. The resource officer went to the classroom to confront the 17-year-old suspect and move other students into the room to safety. Waukesha police and sheriff's deputies soon arrived to the school and tried to de-escalate the situation with no success. The suspect refused to remove his hands from his pockets when asked by officers and pointed his handgun at officers. The student is in custody and in stable condition. No officers or other students were injured.
As reported by U.S. News, Wisconsinites and Americans across the country felt the effects of winter weather over Thanksgiving and into this week. According to flight tracker website FlightAware, over 8,000 flights were delayed and almost 1,000 were canceled last week and weekend. From Sunday through Monday morning, cities across Massachusetts, Vermont, and New York experienced anywhere from 16 to 19 inches of snow. Back here in Wisconsin, Oshkosh has some more snow in the forecast. 1 to 2 inches are expected next Monday.
A lakeshore flood advisory was issued Sunday night for counties along Lake Michigan due to wind conditions caused by a large storm. With gusts as strong as 35 miles per hour, the National Weather Service warned that waves could get up to 12 feet until the winds died down. Douglas County in northwestern Wisconsin saw with nearly 22 inches of snow by 11 a.m. Estimated snowfall totals released by the National Weather Service station include 14 to 18 inches near Ashland, 10 to 14 in Hayward, 9 to 12 in Niagara in northeastern Wisconsin, 4 to 7 inches in Green Bay, 5 to 8 in Wausau, 2 to 4 in Eau Claire, and 1 to 3 inches in Fond du Lac as of Sunday afternoon. Nearly 4,000 people were without power west of Green Bay. By 10 p.m. Sunday, power had been restored to all but almost 200 people.
The Supreme Court will be hearing oral arguments concerning the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, on Monday. This will be the first time in 10 years that the Supreme Court will be considering oral arguments about the Second Amendment. This is happening in the aftermath of a ruling in New York concerning concealed carry and where the rules of New Yorkers' carry permits are valid. Supporters for looser gun control laws are hoping to win the case and that the court's ruling will serve as a federal statement supporting their cause.
When we come back, Andrew Martins will be here with the Titan World News Corner.
And be sure to stick around for the sports update with Corey Sparks.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A Dog's Way Home is the story of the extraordinary lengths a dog will go to in order to get back to their family. Every year, millions of dogs and cats end up in shelters and rescue groups. We found our Bella at a shelter in Tennessee. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover they're all pure love. Adopt pure love and help a shelter pet find their way home at theshelterpetproject.org.
Do you like free TV?
Oh, I love this idea.
Check out Titan TV's Video on Demand. You can find the latest shows and classic content.
I should check it.
Everything is made and produced by students. Take a look at titan-tv.org.
Welcome to Titan World News Corner. I'm your host, Andrew Mertens, with this week's World News. Our first story on the World News Corner takes us to the land far away in India. Waves of white foam blanketed the Marina Beach in Chennai, India over the weekend, attracting local children to play in the foam. But local reports say that the foam is toxic, caused by pollutants in sewage mixing with seawater and frothing up the waves. A gun battle between security forces and suspected cartel members in northern Mexico over the weekend claimed 22 lives. 4 police officers, 2 civilians, and 16 criminals are among the dead. The hour-long battle broke out between security forces and cartel members in the northeastern town of Villa Union, 40 miles south of Eagle Pass, Texas. 25 vehicles, 4 with high-caliber guns, and numerous guns, along with thousands of rounds of ammunition, were confiscated after the battle. The Mexican government has been in contact with the U.S. regarding the possible designation of cartels as foreign terrorists. President Donald Trump offered to, quote, go in and clean it out, end quote, but the Mexican government rejected the offer. A police chief identified as Wukash was working in a basement at Fishmongers Hall near London Bridge when Usman Khan began a stabbing spree at a prisoner rehabilitation conference. Wukash took a pole hanging on a wall and fought the attacker while buying time for the others to escape. Wukash suffered 5 cuts all the way up his arm, but continued to pursue the attacker through the hall and out into the street. An additional person involved in fighting off the attacker was photographed using a narwhal tusk, but was impeded by the attacker wearing a fake bomb vest. The attacker was killed, and the 3 people injured are all recovering. And when we come back, Corey Sparks will have the sports update, and later, more news. Stay tuned.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
They say you don't have to be so strong, but this is my mother, my purpose. Strength is not optional. See, I lift her now like she raised me then, so I know my strength is super, but I'm still human.
Oh, look who's here.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Hey, I was just reading this book out in the lobby, but it is taking me forever. Can I check it out, or?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Remember to return this on time.
I got it. Yeah, don't get it.
I have a strict return policy, so don't forget.
All right. Thanks. You have a good day.
Hi, I'm Corey Sparks with your Titan Sports Update. Last Saturday, UW Oshkosh football played against Central College in Iowa and lost in a 38-37 nail-biter that went into overtime before it was decided. Oshkosh rocketed out of the gates, scoring 31 points to Central College's 7 going into halftime, thanks to touchdowns from running back Peter McGudden, wide receiver Riley Callis, a rushing touchdown from quarterback Kobe Berghammer, and a 37-yard fumble return from defensive lineman Trenton Lacombe. After halftime, the game was completely in Central's favor. The Dutch went on to score 24 unanswered points in the second half, including a 34-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Blaine Hawkins to Eric Knack, with just 15 seconds left to go in regulation. Oshkosh wrapped the season up with an overall record of 8-3 and made its 5th NCAA appearance in the past 8 seasons. The group showed a lot of promise from young players such as newcomer Kobe Berghammer, who accounted for 23 total touchdowns this season, and sophomore kicker Jaden Hagg, who was a perfect 12 for 12 on field goals and made 90% of his extra points. Titan Cross Country wrapped up their season on November 23rd at the NCAA Division III Championship. It was an individually scored championship at EP Tom Sawyer State Park in Louisville, Kentucky. Junior Cody Chadwick was the only representative for the Titan men and earned All-American honors. He finished 21st in the 8,000 meter with a time of 24 minutes and 50 seconds. Senior Ashton Keene was the sole representative for the Titan women. Keene also had an All-American finish by finishing 39th in the 6,000 meter with a time of 22:13. Titan Wrestling continued their season on November 23rd at the Concordia University Wisconsin Open. This was the third non-scoring event for Oshkosh this season and their last event of November. Senior Colton Cashmore placed 5th at 197 pounds, and freshman Dennis Murphy won the consolation title at 125. Oshkosh will be splitting the team up tomorrow to compete at both the UW Parkside Open and the Milwaukee School of Engineering Invitational. Brett Wichow earned an opportunity that not many Division III basketball players get when the UW Oshkosh and Lacona graduate signed a contract to play with European team TVO Bigazit in Olpe, Germany. He and the coach first made contact in August. The roster was full at the time, but the coach kept him in mind after seeing him lead UWO to the national championship in 2019. Two Bigazit starting shooting guard broke his hand, opening the door for Wichow. Wichow's coach let him know that he would start immediately and would typically play about 40 minutes due to how interested he was after seeing his play for the Titans during their 2018-19 national championship run. Off the court, while he's getting his apartment set up, Wichow has lived with his coach and the coach's family. Missing his friendships back in the Fox Valley, Wichow got a pleasant surprise when he touched down in Germany. Nearly everybody there speaks English, Wichow said, making the transition much easier. In preparation for the language barrier, he learned simple German phrases but hasn't needed them quite yet. TVO Bigazit has started the season 8-0, including 2 wins in Wichita's first 2 games. When we come back, more news. Stay tuned.
1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
So Buddy Boot Camp is a great way for our student population here at UWO to grab a friend, a roommate, a classmate, and come together as a large group and go through a big, exciting workout that's put on by our personal trainers here at the rec.
We burn 1,128 calories.
That's a lot of calories. People should participate in Buddy Boot Camp because research shows that if you have that social accountability, you're more likely to adhere to your workout program.
People are very friendly, very outgoing, and they really want to encourage you no matter where you are in your health journey.
I would recommend this. It's definitely something to kind of meet new people here and get in shape, see some new workouts.
More than 1,000 students from all 3 University of Wisconsin Oshkosh campuses will graduate together during the 55th mid-year commencement at 9:30 a.m. Saturday, December 14th at Kolf Sports Center on the Oshkosh campus. The event marks the first time students from the Fond du Lac, Fox Cities, and Oshkosh campuses will be recognized for their academic achievements during the same ceremony. UW Oshkosh Chancellor Andrew Levitt will deliver diplomas to nearly 900 undergraduates, more than 140 master's degree candidates, and 3 Doctor of Education candidates. Angela Sabowa, Associate Professor and Geology Department Chair, will offer the commencement address on behalf of the faculty. Leo Costello, a multimedia journalism major from Oshkosh, will deliver remarks as the graduating class speaker. State Representative Diane Hesselbein will relay greetings from the state, and the event will stream and be broadcast live here on Titan TV for those who cannot attend the commencement ceremony.
One of our reporters recently sat down with Rachel Geller, who has a bit of a knack for graphic design.
My name is Rachel, and I'm a remote graphic designer. I take text and images and other assets to create things like print advertisement, web design, logos, really anything that could be designed. My process for everything is pretty similar. I do start with research, try to get a little inspiration, a little more background about what I'm working on, and then from there I'll develop some more concrete ideas and then just sort of work off that and see how it goes from there. The first project I did was the Wisconsin State Parks and Forests sticker. Every year they do a contest for high school kids to design that year's vehicle admission sticker, so that was the first one I did in one of my high school classes. Last year I worked on this project for downtown Green Bay, where I got to design new street banners. I think it ended up being about a $100,000 project. I like to experiment in graphic design. I have a button maker, which I like to use. I actually just used it for my wedding. I created a bunch of buttons for the guests. So my dream job would be to work at Disney with their Imagineering department. You know, working there I think would just be magical, and I think that's so cliche and goofy to say, but there's just something about Disney that it's inspiring. So.
The Thanksgiving menu in Hawaii seemed to be adding reptile to the menu this past Thursday when a Honolulu man found a dead gecko in his Starbucks coffee. A woman had gone through a Starbucks drive-thru that Thursday morning and ordered coffee for both her and her husband. Her husband started to sip on his coffee when he noticed the dead gecko at the bottom of the drink. While information is still limited, corporate offices were contacted when the report of the contaminated coffee was filed. Starbucks has yet to respond.
While frustrated with his unsuccessful online dating attempts, a North Carolina man created a dating app where he is the only guy available. After several failed attempts on other dating apps, Aaron Smith noticed an important detail missing. Smith recently told a CBS affiliate that his face was, quote, not properly featured, end quote, thus causing a lack of success in the dating world. Gaining help from the software-savvy friend, Smith designed singularly normal on-dating apps such as Tinder or Bumble. You see the profiles and pictures of hundreds of members who are looking for love. On singularly, it is only pictures of Aaron Smith over and over again. You can find Smith on the app wearing a Santa hat, shredding on his guitar, and jumping in front of an ice cream truck. Why waste countless hours trying to find the one when you can only find the one on one?
That's all we have for this week's Titan TV News broadcast. It's been a great semester, and all of us here at Titan TV look forward to another great semester this spring.
Be sure to stay tuned after the show for the... Just stay tuned. That's all said.